with their speech entitled The Silence of Our Friends. Please welcome Joseph, everybody!
In the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. That's one of my favourite Martin Luther King quotes from when he was making a call to action back in the 60s for people to join the civil rights movement. And I was thinking about this statement a few weeks ago when I was just making my way home from work. And I was riding the bus, I was on the top deck, and I'd taken a seat opposite these two kids in school uniform. They would have been about 14, one boy and one girl. It was an averagely busy bus. And then this guy got on the bus carrying a can of Scrumpy Jack, and he looked a little bit worse for wear, although, to be honest, when you're riding a bus, it's a little bit hard to tell, isn't it? They were like this. So he sits down on the bus, and he looks behind him, looks around. He sees these two kids and goes, "Is that your girlfriend, mate? Is that your girlfriend? Whoa, she's all right, isn't she?" These two kids ignored him, but he persisted. He was like, "Mate, is that your bird? Is that your bird?" I said, "Wow." And he went on with his banter for a little while. And then he got up and he came down the bus towards this little boy and approached him and fist bumped him to congratulate him on his conquest. Slapped him on the back a bit, grabbed him by the shoulders. At which point I felt I had to say something, and I said, "Look, that's enough now." And he was stunned, and he looked at me like, "What? I wouldn't talk to you, this isn't your conversation." And I said, "Well, I don't know what your intentions are exactly, but these two children are just trying to get home from school, and you're frightening them. It's just not okay to go around touching children on public buses." And he did just go back and sit down in his seat. And we went on, and he looked behind himself a couple of times, and he announced to these kids, "Some people just get so jealous." And then sooner or later, he got off the bus, and the two kids also got off the bus like that at the next stop, and the boy sort of shuffled off, embarrassed, like he would be. And as the girl went to get off the bus, she did say to me, "Oh, thank you for doing that." So it was all good. But here's the thing. The real danger in this story is not the man drunk in the middle of a Thursday afternoon, had too much Scrumpy Jack, and he's got no one to talk to. The fact is, there must have been a dozen other people on this bus who saw and heard exactly what I did. They must have done, right? There were 4 seats between where we were all sitting, and chose to do nothing. And even when I stepped up and said, "You've got to stop touching these little kids," nobody said anything in solidarity. So I was just making my way home, thinking to myself, it isn't the words of our enemies that hurt us. It is the silence of our friends.
Thanks, Justin.